Hello everyone and welcome to my Pecha Kucha presentation for Game Design Tools of 2014. My name is Ryan Horrible and I'm going to tell you how to take care of an Oscar. An Oscar basically is just going to be a fish, but we'll go over details about different types and where they come from later on in the presentation. We're going to start off with where I came from when it comes to aquariums. So when I was younger, my father actually started me off with aquariums. I had a small little 10-gallon fish tank. I had some tropical fish, which are like neon tetras, gouramis, tiger barb, smaller things like that. They required a heater and a little bit more experience to be able to take care of. I've moved up the ranks, I've got bigger tanks and more experienced. So we're going to talk a little bit now about what I currently have. In the picture you can see my tank is a little bit bigger than a 10-gallon tank. I currently have a 55-gallon tank right now with a canister filter that pumps around 300 gallons per minute. I have live decorations in there. I have a couple couple plants. I had sand in there to start with. The fish I had in there didn't really like it too much, so I switched over to gravel. Have a couple caves and stuff like that. There's 2 heaters in there. I have some LED lighting. I've gotten a little bit more advanced in having my aquarium since when I was younger. Done a lot of research. I've even made my own filtration systems. But that's neither here nor there. Now, the picture you see here is going to be an Oscar. The Oscar fish, normally found in South America. They were first discovered in 1831. There's multiple different types of actual Oscar fish that are out there. There's red, yellow, tiger Oscar, albino, lutrino. There's a whole bunch of different types. Oscars are very, very aggressive, and they're very territorial. So you're only supposed to have a couple per tank because they do fight quite a bit. They will basically eat anything that's smaller than them. As long as it can fit in their mouth, they're going to eat it. Like I said, they're basically really good for intermediate aquariums, people that have more experience. Oscars will need a bigger tank. They do make a lot of waste, and like I said, because they are very territorial, they need a lot of space to roam around in. They currently say about one Oscar per 55 gallons when they're fully grown. But when they're fully grown, they're about 12 inches, so I have a little bit of time to play. Like I said, size matters. The bigger tank, the better. The shape really doesn't matter too much. You can get whatever shape you want as long as it's big enough for the Oscars. And then location. Oscars are actually very friendly when it comes to humans. They will follow you around the tank, and some people can actually pet them. So you want to have this tank out in a location that you're going to be able to see it multiple times a day. With filtration, it's going to be the lifeline of the tank. I do not recommend putting fish into a Brita filter. It's a big no-no. Once it comes to filtration, though, you got a couple different types. You can go hang on the back filter, which you can actually see over here on the left-hand side of the screen. They're going to be a little bit noisier and not as powerful as your canister filter, but they will oxygenate the water a little bit more. Canister filters are going to be a lot more powerful. Like I said, the one that I currently have pumps around 300 gallons per minute, or per hour through the actual filter. It has a small little hum. It's really not loud at all. You can barely hear it. Once again, when it comes to decorations, it's basically, like it says, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. You can use whatever you want, make it however you want, and basically do whatever you want with the tank. I have gravel in mine because my fish didn't like sand, but you can have sand on the bottom, you can do gravel, you can do real plants versus plastic plants, you can have caves and animated scuba divers that blow bubbles, you can have different color lighting, and basically whatever you want. The only thing is when it comes to the lighting, the LED lights are probably going to be better for the tank because they don't give off heat, so you can be able to keep the heat in the temperature of the tank at a constant temperature instead of having it fluctuate. The incandescent will actually heat the top of the water, and it'll filtrate through and basically heat the water up. Once again, we're talking about temperature now. Like I just said, temperature is going to be pretty big for the tank. Oscars can range anywhere between 70 to 82 degrees temperature-wise. They prefer it to be a little bit warmer because they are from South America. Once again, with the incandescent lights, it will reheat the actual the tank itself. Now when it comes to heaters, you can either do plastic coated or glass. The glass ones with Oscars are pretty clumsy fish. They will swim around and knock into them, and there have been actual information about Oscars getting electrocuted because they've broken open the heater when they're swimming around the tank. When it comes to food, food's really big for the Oscars. There's a lot of different things you can feed them. A lot of pet stores and a lot of aquarists focus mainly on cichlid pellets. which cichlids are Oscars. The pellets are actually going to be healthier for the fish. You're going to be able to regulate how much they get and the type of nutrition they get. But like I was saying before, Oscars will eat anything, live fish. A lot of people can just go, you can go to your local pet store and buy feeder fish for, you can get a whole bunch of them for like $1 or $2. The thing is with that, a lot of them have diseases. They're not very nutritious. They're kept in the same water over and over and over again. They're really not that healthy for the Oscars. So you want to stay away from that. When it comes to having multiple fish in the tank, not just Oscars, like I said before, Oscars will eat anything and everything that are basically smaller than them. So you have to pick and choose when it comes to the actual other fish you're going to put in the tank. In that picture that you see right there, that's actually going to be a pleco, which is basically an algae eater. Like I said, as long as it's bigger than the Oscars, it's fine. You can also do any other cichlids, as long as they're around the same size as Oscars, and blood parrots, because blood parrots, once again, are going to be very territorial, and they will fight off the Oscars. With other cichlids as well, the cichlids are going to be territorial as well in there, so you have to be very careful. Now when it comes to Oscars, Oscars can lay eggs every 25 to 30 days, so you're always going to want to have a big tank, especially if you have a male and a female, because this will always happen. When it comes to breeding, they do this cool little ritual. They kind of lock their jaws, kind of almost looks like they're kissing and stuff. The female will lay eggs on a flat surface, and then the male will actually go and fertilize them. And you can have anywhere between 200 to 500 eggs. So once again, you're going to need a very, very big tank if you plan on breeding Oscars. Oscars mate for life. Like I said, there's lots of fry, and when they actually are mating and when the eggs hatch, they are very, very territorial and even more aggressive. Once again, my name is Ryan Horrible, and thank you for watching my Pecha Kucha presentation on how to care for an Oscar.